it's said that people, only when they come very close to their existence on earth, comes to Raja Yoga path. When they have taken enough and more lives, and they have experienced all sorts of things, and then it's almost time to go back home to consciousness. That's the time when people connect to Raja Yoga. This is what people, that's what, there's a saying like this. So what is the difference here? Why this is so? Why it is so? Because every path has its power, and every path takes you to the same place. If it is bhakti, devotion, connection to a deity, devoted to the deity, considering the deity inside, you and deity have no separation, and then you dissolve into the deity, and you dissolve and reach the same place. But that's not the way usually bhakti works now. How is bhakti working now? Usually,
Something I want, something.
absolutely transactional. I give you something, you give me something. You're talking to God and making a deal. God is not like that. A deity is not here to fix deals. That's one part. So there is something outside of you to connect in bhakti, devotion. If it is knowledge path, it's more of an introverted path. Contemplation is very important in the path of knowledge. You got to assimilate. What do you assimilate? Details you have collected from outside. So this is information collected from outside, processed inside, and attaining the experience of it. How much percentage will you attain? Experience. Very less. Again, when you read a lot of confusion can happen. This or that. What is right? This kind of thing. So again, a thing outside, information outside, connecting to the information, trying to internalize and make it experience. Knowledge path. Karma yoga path. Selfless service path. Beautiful path. Good for purification. When you share what you have in abundance with the people outside, you become rich inside. Karma yoga path. Very powerful path. But ego can become very strong in karma yoga. I am rich, I'm giving you. Big trap. And when your ego is very strong, your personality also reflects your ego. Then you have a liability to stay like that or to detach from that. Both are difficult. So, karma yoga path is good. So, all these things needs maturity. Why? Then there are japa yoga, so many yogas. But when you reach Raja Yoga path, we are not connecting to anything outside. It is all inside. Very difficult to connect. You are neither contemplating, you are neither connecting to something outside. You're doing none of this, which you're used to. You're just being you and feeling you. Through feeling, knowing you. Through knowing, understanding you. And through understanding, assimilating in you. Not easy. It's not easy. Because it's all you, 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 you. You see? It's all you. But who will reach there when they're ready to dissolve? Those who stay in this path are people who are ready to dissolve, to become consciousness.
Ja. Er is een gezegde in het Indiaas dat alleen degenen die er klaar voor zijn, die heel veel levens hebben gehad en die op het punt staan om over te gaan naar hoger bewustzijn, dat die op het pad van Raja Yoga komen. En nou legt Mohanji uit dat de 3 hoofdpaden van Bhakti Yoga en karma yoga en jnana yoga, die zijn allemaal verbindingen met de buitenwereld. Je hebt je hebt op het pad van Bhakti Yoga heb je dat je verbindt met een godheid buiten je. Maar tegenwoordig is het heel vaak dat mensen zich alleen maar verbinden door middel van een transactie. Van ja, een soort handel drijven. Van ja, als jij mij wat geeft, als ik jou wat geef, geef jij mij wat terug. Dus daar zit een valkuil in. Als je het pad van Jnana Yoga volgt, dan verbind je je met kennis van buitenaf en die probeer je te integreren en zo tot wijsheid te komen. Als je op het pad van Karma Yoga gaat, prachtig pad, zegt hij, dan verbind je met de mensen om je heen en met de natuur om je heen en je begeef je op het pad van onbaatzuchtige dienstbaarheid. Er zit wel een groot risico in dat je een enorm ego opbouwt. Dus je moet of het ego afwerpen of gewoon zo blijven. Maar dat is een fixed risico. Het pad van Raja Yoga is anders. Je gaat niet verbinding aan met iets buiten je, maar alles gebeurt binnenin. Het gaat over de gewaarwording van binnen. Wat gebeurt daar? En pas mensen die op het laatste puntje staan van bewustwording, die zullen het via dat pad tot voltooiing brengen. De meeste die er niet aan toe zijn, die haken al veel eerder af. Dat is eigenlijk het pad van Raja Yoga.
Is this clear about Raja Yoga? It's about connection within, and it is not easy. Here in our path, our Dudas just appear. Shirdi Sai Baba just appeared from somewhere. Nobody knows his parents clearly. Satya Sai Baba has explained a lot about him, but technically, traditionally, who Shirdi Baba was, nobody knew. Akalkot Maharaj, nobody knew. So in Raj Yoga path, masters just happen. They just appear. Vittal Babaji, nobody knew where he came from. Ganesh Anandagiri, nobody knew where he came from. So this is the type of masters who run this, not run, who appear in this Raja Yoga tradition, the path. So it could be very confusing, and nobody leaves a trail how to reach there, how to be there, how to get there. So it's not easy. That's why I said you need extreme determination to stay in the path. But then the benefit is you become like an avaduta, extremely elevated master.
Het pad van Raja Yoga is niet makkelijk. Eh, de traditie is dat avadutas op het pad van Raja Yoga zomaar verschijnen. En dan noemt hij voorbeelden zoals Shirdi Sai Baba, Akakot Maharaj, Baba Ganeshanandagiri, Vital Babaji en meer meesters. Die verschijnen zomaar in één keer en niemand weet waar ze vandaan komen. Het pad is echt niet makkelijk, maar het heeft het grote voordeel dat je er met enorme inzet, dat je zelf tot die Avaduta staat kunt komen.
Yeah, next question.
I would like to know about. I would like to know. I love nature, and in India, the cow is very revered Gomata. So, how is she different than other animals, other species?
Well, the tradition, you can translate it. Then Shatrughan doesn't have to translate.
Mijn vraag is, ik hou heel erg van de natuur en van alle dieren. En in India is de koe geëerd. En waarom is de koe meer geëerd dan andere dieren?
The story is the celestial cow, Kamadhenu. Kamadhenu is the celestial cow, wish fulfilling animal, completely pure, completely sacred, fully sacred. So the story is that Vasishta told Brahma, we need an animal whose products are good for yajnas, for fire ceremonies. So Brahma said, you can take the cow to earth, but who will protect the cow? Cow cannot protect itself. It's very kind animal. It is not aggressive. It's a kind animal. So nobody can, I mean, it cannot save itself. Who will protect? So Vasishta said, we will protect the cow. We will take care of it. That is the original story.
Het is allemaal terug te leiden op Kamadhenu, de, eh, de hemelse koe, de goddelijke koe. En het verhaal begint eigenlijk bij Vasista die aan Brahma vraagt van we hebben voor onze offers hebben we een dier nodig waarvan we de producten kunnen gebruiken om te gebruiken als offerande. En toen zei Brahma, gebruik de koe maar. Maar de koe is wel heel onschuldig en heel kwetsbaar. Wie zal haar beschermen? En toen heeft Vasista gezegd, wij zullen de koe beschermen.
And for a cow, the whole life is service. So most of this is written in books from the past. A cow's milk is sacred. Its milk products are sacred. Its urine is medicine in Ayurveda. Its dung is antiseptic, which is also used as fuel if it is dried, and also used to do the flooring, so that it's antiseptic. Its skin, after its death, skin is used as various things. Everything about a cow is sacred, or completely user friendly, let's say. Also, when the cow is in the house, no entities or spirits enter the house because the cow attracts them to its body. That's why it said never eat cow's meat, because it's already polluted, contaminated, because it collects everything. So just like a dog protects your house, making it a territory, a cow protects you from subtle energies, different energies. So most of our houses had cows and calves, and they were treated as our own family members, not as milking cows. So there was always a transaction. So we followed what Vasishta said. Vasishta promised, we will take care of the cows. But later in Kali Yuga, the whole tide turned. We killed them. Fully pregnant cows are slaughtered. Every kind of harm is done to cows. And we are all experiencing its repercussion.
De koe is ontzettend heilig. Zelfs de urine wordt gebruikt in Ayurvedische medicijnen. De mest wordt gebruikt om de vloer te ontsmetten en ook als brandstof. Als de koe eenmaal overleden is, dan wordt de huid voor verschillende producten gebruikt. Zo is de melk is uiteraard heel heilig. Zo is elk product van de koe heilig. En de koe heeft ook een belangrijke plaats in de traditionele Indiase maatschappij. Want de koe neemt ook negatieve energieën in zich op en beschermt daarmee het huis. Net zoals een waakhond een huis beschermt, houdt een koe het huis zuiver. En even, ja, dus als je vlees van een koe eet, en de koe werd beschouwd als familielid, hè? Dat werd in een gezin als familielid behandeld. Maar als jij dus vlees van een koe eet, dan neem je dus al die vervuiling in je op, die negatieve energieën, die worden dan deel van jou. En dat is heel onwerkelijk. En dan komen we in de Kali Yuga, de tijd waar we nu in zitten, is de mens ontaard. We doden koeien bij de miljoenen. En zelfs koeien met ongeboren kalf en al worden geslacht voor eten. En daar merken we dus ook de weerslag van.
Also, we in our houses, the cow and calves were together. and the calf used to drink enough milk it wants. Still, the excess milk is the only thing we used to use. Not that we take the whole milk and the calf gets nothing. It was the other way around originally, not now. Uh, so calf was with the cow. Like for example, in our Australian ashram, there is a cow and a calf. The calf is very big now, but they are together right from the beginning, never separated. We don't take the milk either. They live as normal. So and now we have two sheeps and their children. They also live as family. We don't separate them. So the point is, there was a respect to their family before. This was the promise of Vasishta. He said, "We will take care of it." So child was with the mother. Child used to drink enough milk, how much it wants. Excess milk was used for homas and yajnas. So everything was sacred, sanctified, pure those days. Now we separate the calf as soon as it's born in the dairy industry. India, we see cows as road dividers. Most of these cows have crossed the childbearing age. Many cows you see in the northern part of India who sits on the road as road dividers, they are not young cows or they can't produce children. So they are left out by the farmers. That's not a very good idea because they are left to fend themselves. Secondly, India is one of the largest exporter of beef. Where is it coming from? Where is it coming from? From male children of cows, mostly, mostly. Because in dairy industry, you don't need male children. So they are fed and grown to be killed. It's unethical, very unethical. So because of the taste for cheese, milk, butter, and all the products, people have stopped following ethics. So it's not always an ethical handling of beings, even in India. Other parts of the world, all the developed countries, they treat animals as objects. They don't give them any value, treated completely with disrespect. But India, we are supposed to take care of them. But even India has degenerated because profits. Profits has no sensitivity. Profits have no ethics.
Vroeger werden koeien en kalveren bij elkaar gelaten. En het kalf mocht zoveel drinken van de koe als hij wilde. En alleen wat er overbleef werd gebruikt voor homa's en yagnas. En nu is dat totaal anders. We nemen alles gelijk af en het stierkalfje wordt geslacht en het kalf wordt gelijk gescheiden van de moeder. En we nemen zoveel mogelijk als we maar kunnen, omdat we alleen maar op winst uit zijn. India is inmiddels de grootste exporteur van rundvlees geworden, omdat alle stierkalfjes voor de vleesindustrie gaan. Ehm, Over de hele wereld is er weinig respect voor dieren. Maar in India hebben we een traditie dat het wel zo zou moeten zijn. Maar zelfs India begint dat te verliezen vanwege de hang naar winst.
Well, that's it's not the same as slaughter of a sentient being because slaughter of a sentient being is denial of existence, number one. Second, we have to take the responsibility of death. So, when you produce it artificially, it's not the same.
En vlees uit stamcellen dan, dat is niet hetzelfde. Want als je een leven neemt, dan moet je daar verantwoording over afleggen. En als je het kunstmatig produceert, is dat anders. But how about aren't these cells cancerous?
Well, medical, I think probably Dolph should answer. Could be, could be.
Ja, het zou kunnen dat dat kweekvlees dat het ook niet goed voor je is.
Mohanji, we are killing a lot of animals on a daily basis, but we also are killing Mother Nature by using all kinds of toxins. What are the karmic responses of that? Can you tell us a little bit about what does it mean for this planet?
Simple word is, you can translate English in Dutch also.
Wat zijn de karmische responsen omdat we heel veel dieren per dag doodsteken, maar ook door allerlei maken we ook allerlei bepaalde belangrijke bacteriën. Maar dat heeft een bepaalde chemische effecten. Wat zijn daar de karmische gevolgen?
One word answer is binding. All our actions of insensitive by nature causes us binding. We are bound. Not to come back to the responsibility of what we do. It could be to come back, or it could be to not to leave at all. That means you're stuck in Kali Yuga. This is very, it's very difficult to say how long. But the depth of binding, the strength of binding could be that you are never leaving Kali Yuga. The depth of insensitivity will ensure your stay here. And that's why some people are just repeating, they appear only in Kali Yuga. When any other yuga happens, they are not there. Because these people can't transcend to that level. That's why now you see how much of insensitivity going on. Why many people have psychosomatic illnesses. They can't meditate. So why some people cannot even transcend to subtle level, even to the Shakti level, the spirit level. Why? Because they're so occupied with the disturbances of the nature caused by our insensitivity, caused by destruction, death. It's not only the wars, etc., the daily holocaust, hundreds of animals killed, gassed into death, killed to death, killed means murdered. All these things, it is all getting released into the air. That vibration touches everybody, 8 billion people. On top of that, starvation, because the meat is not good enough for all. Producers are the products are for feeding the animals, not the people only. If people are fed portion of the animals or a portion of the food that is fed to animals, all the people will not be hungry. Nobody will be hungry. All the people will eat food. But the entire food is created, or most of the food is created for animals, and people are starving. And people cannot eat all the animals. Even then, 80 billion animals estimated. 80 billion animals are slaughtered every year to feed 8 billion people. Abnormally obscene. And all the dairy products associated. When you take milk from a cow, that's the death of a calf. Everything. I mean, you look at all these things. Now, not only that, the laboratories, hundreds and thousands of animals are tortured and killed in labs. Experiments. Where are these vibrations going out to? Agony, torture, pain, death. It's going into the air, into the atmosphere. And we can't be immune to this, you know. We are sensitive beings. We are like sponge. We absorb them, attract them. And we develop fears, we develop trauma, we develop insecurity. Whatever they are feeling, we'll develop. Helplessness, huge helplessness. Because they feel the same. An animal in the abattoir feels extreme helplessness. The monkeys, primates, and the dogs and the cats tortured in laboratories feel helplessness. Because when the child is snatched away for experiments from the mother, Mother feels absolute acute agony, and that's transmitted to the atmosphere, and it reaches people. Even if those sadistic experimenters are not affected, their children will be affected. Next generation will be affected. Other generations will be affected. So it's high time we changed all these things. See, you look at Ayurveda. How many animals was killed to find these Ayurvedic medicines? There was a medicine for everybody, everything. Until it was, see, many of the great knowledge was destroyed only in the last 1,000 years. Not a lot of time. Not 1,000 years, maybe 2,000 years, 2,000. Let's say 2,500 years. Not later. Not not before. Not before. When Bhaktiar Khilji decided to burn uh, Nalanda University, you know why he burned it? That university existed in BC. You know, when we are talking about Stone Age or different ages, that time the university existed, BC. And there is in Nalanda University, people used to come to students used to come from many parts of the world to study, and they have to pass a test from the watchman, the guard. The first entrance examination is by the guard. So imagine a guard is like a professor. Everybody was like that in the university, and they had a huge library in which included, as we know, even Agastya Samhita. Agastya Samhita. Agastya is a Prajapati. He know how to create human beings. He know how to create beings and give it life. So his treatise works had a whole way of knowing how to make beings and give it life, just like our Prana Pradishta. He had everything. So to create a human being or any being and give it life, the whole treatise was there, description, and so on and so forth, everything. But they found out all these things without killing one animal or bird. In fact, they created. And Bhaktiar Khilji, this better not to translate because it's too much. Maybe later you can translate. Let's continue with it. What do you think? So, Bhaktiar Khilji had a very disabling disease. He was in Iran or Iraq, that region, and huge pain, and the muscles were getting weak, etc. So, none of his doctors could help him. So, somebody said, if you go to Nalanda University, there are professors there who are excellent doctors. They have cure for everything because they had all these books. They knew what will help what. So they checked him and said, "Oh, this we can heal, no problem." Then he said, "But you're not a Muslim. You can't touch me. I can't take your medicine." So they said, "What sort of book do you read?" So he said, "Quran." "Okay, give us the Quran. 3 days, let us read it. Let me read it." And 3 days later, he gave it back and told Bhaktiar Khilji, every day you should read one page from this. And I think it was 3 pages. Every day, read 3 pages. And it was changing the pages. You lick your tongue with saliva and turn it, right? And they had pasted the medicine on the pages. And in 1 month, he got healed. When he got healed, he did not know how he got healed. Then he found out that this book had medicine on it. He became furious. A non-Islamic person treated me, burned the university. The whole university was burnt, library was burnt. 3 months, 90 days it took to burn the library. So many books were there. So many books, and the professors were killed. The university was razed because he was angry. He said, a non-Muslim treated me. He was not happy and grateful that he got healed. Instead, His religion was more important for him. Raise the whole thing down. We lost Agastya Samhita's original version. We lost everything. How many generations we retarded? We went back. You see,
But was this drama also concocted to introduce, to strengthen Kali Yuga?
it is all Kali Yuga. Otherwise, it won't happen like this. Because otherwise, gratefulness. It, everybody are instruments, all of us. No, but let's not justify this. I'm just telling this that this is how it all happened. I'm not trying to analyze the situation, but this is how it happened. So all these people, like for example, Kama Sutra. Kama Sutra is not a sex treatise. It's about analysis of. It's an analysis. So I think everybody would have seen it, right? It is an analysis of the human creation, types of people analysis. And this man was a bachelor. He never had sex in his life. Vatsyayana never had sex in his life. But he wrote an excellent treatise which is valuable for generations. Ayurveda, all the findings were not by experimenting on animals. All things, Vastu, for example, completely based on their understanding of astronomy, astrology, and the science of architecture. It was a link up connection. Where has it come from? Awareness. So we have the awareness, we have the power. We don't have to do this nonsense. We don't have to kill hundreds of animals. Yesterday, I was communicating with one person in Ethiopian Airlines, whom I know, not to transport monkeys from Africa to Europe, because so many monkeys are and that area there are no monkeys now. All of them were transported to Europe for experimenting on them. So I was sending a message, can you please stop this? So I do this work also. In between, when I get time, I try to save monkeys. I try to do some things. I'm not saying I'm doing some great work, but I'm saying that we all should do it. Because see, the thing is, like, it's become so obscene, so degenerated, the whole thought process, the whole thing. And we are trying to reach the highest state of awareness. On the side, the world is filled with this kind of things: corruption, nepotism, anarchy, torture, capture, killing, you know. And that's why there is a saying: may you experience, or may you have the same experience of how you give the experience to animals. Then it will not be good. You know, if you have the same experience of how we treat the animals, all of us will be in great pains. It's happening without any prayer. It's happening. So much of confusion, so many things. People are going like headless chicken. Virtual world now more and more. Personal connections are lost. Everything is on virtual level. Even God.
Is it so that certain um, persons, some 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 beings that who are of a very low frequency, try to lower the frequency so they can thrive on our negative feelings?
Other way around. When your frequency is low, such beings appear. As per your frequency, those kind of beings happy to survive here, happy to thrive here. If you're of higher frequency, Satyuga frequency, hardly anybody will be interested. Fully conscious, fully conscious. You can create, recreate, exist. You have no death. Your existence is eternal. That kind of a state. That's what we are looking at. Satyuga level of existence, where we are fully conscious and we decide our life, we decide our size, we decide everything. Not like karma decides. Now it's in the fully unconscious, karma decides us, our life. And also, we are in pain, resistance, because we don't like it.
one more question. That is about what you just mentioned. That was you mentioned the Kama Sutra. I do know that many people all over the world struggle with their sexuality, and there is a relation between sexuality and consciousness. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, I think the right now the sexuality is affected because of pollution. It's people stopped feeling sexuality. It is almost like a ritual that completely kills it. Then we go back to the animalistic animals thing. At a certain season, they procreate for the sake of continuation of species. But here, first of all, we deviated from physical to virtual. That is why 3 trillion porn industry. So much of porn films are created because people like to be in that zone, virtual. I'm not saying this is good or bad. This is a sign of times. The consciousness aspect also. See, when you're completely conscious, you're fully romantic, not sexually romantic. You are romance. You are love. Everything is you. All things are you. And that from that mode to that of conquest, control, mind, this kind of things totally restricts you. Ownership. Second aspect is that unbelievably polluted the world. Frequency pollution, energetic pollution, uh, atmospheric pollution, food pollution, all sorts of pollutions. So thought process changes, mind changes, brain works differently, all those things. So it's not only about sexuality, behavioral patterns have changed, isn't it? See, today the culture has changed. People look at people only for what do I get from this guy, not for oh there is another person expression of me. There's no nothing like it. There's no connection. Transaction, there's no need for connection for transaction. What do I get from this guy? If I don't get anything, I don't want you. Everything is transaction. So and that's trained. And also look at how much insensitive and angry people are. We don't have to go too far. Just go to the airport. The security. Go through the security. You will know. Especially a person of my color. Big problem. And hair and beard. They don't like it. Yeah. A lot of places I have experienced this thing. Many places. I asked a question. You have a problem with my color? No, no, no. It's a random checking. Only me. It's a random checking. That's what they say. Even in Georgia, Georgia is asking people to come for tourism. When I was coming out, they contacted me. They said, come here and wanted to check my passport. I said, what do you want to see? When did you come? I said, 2 days ago. And then they wanted to know. And I said, you check whatever you want. But there were people of mine with me. They never had a problem with them. Venice, I had an issue. Venice, I was coming out. They called me separately. And there was Thea with me, and they don't have a problem because their color is okay for them. My color is not good. See, this is a sign of our times. How many airports I had to go through it. Frankfurt, of course, you know the story. Yeah, we made a lot of scene about of it. But that was too much. There was people with machine guns around me, frisking. Yeah, and they said we will take your baggage out. I said you take whatever you want out. And I was transiting. I was not even entering the country. I was transiting, and they were not happy. I said, "What do you want to see?" And they said, "What is in your pocket?" I said, "It was only a 50 euro bill." I said, "Okay, you check. You check whatever you want. I have no problem." But they were taken, and they were Baba's picture throwing like this, everything out of my wallet. Contempt, utter contempt, no respect. And this is business class, by the way. So you can expect economy how they will treat you. So if you want to know how pollution works in minds, this is one of the signs. You know, various places I experienced this. Many places. I was flying from London via Ireland to Canada. After London, when the flight touched Ireland, they called me and said, Where are you going? What are you doing?" So I said, and my passport is full of stamps. So many passports, and I'm all over the world, right? I said, why are you traveling like this? I said, I give speeches, I do certain things, and all these interrogation, you know. I asked them, what exactly do you want? No, we are random checking. We do this random. Same story. It's very difficult. Don't think that I'm fancying traveling. It's always a torture for me to travel because all these airports have to go through this. All these airports. In Australia, how many questions? I said I invested 2 million Australian dollars here. I have an ashram. I showed him the picture. I said, why are all these people with you? I said, I attract people. You were there, Australia. I spoke to the minister, by the way. We had a dinner. I told, so this is not good. I said, you people want tourism, right? I bring tourism. But this is the way they treat people. Our Monica, her mobile phone was checked. They opened the mobile phone and checked everything. Yeah, like China. In Australia, you know, everybody is a criminal. But especially color, you don't like it. People don't like it.
You said you're setting up portal, perhaps easier to travel by portal?
Still have to go through the airports, right? Unless I have a private jet. Private jet is different. That's different. Then you go through the VIP thing, and then it's a different story. If you have to go through the channels, usual channels, it's very, very, very tedious. I'm not looking forward at all in this. I don't look forward. So many times it has happened, and it's tedious. You feel terrible after all this ordeal. You're coming after flying 18 hours, 16, 17 hours. You're tired. You just want to, and I don't have the luxury of having much free time. Maybe rest one night and next day I have a program. So they make you feel you're unwanted and don't come this way. But they will accept all the illegal people, boat people, and they give facilities, money, facility, house, job, whatever you call, medicine. See, this is the irony. Legitimate, authentic people who have all the visas and all the papers in order are not appreciated, not accepted. But the people who are climbing in a boat and coming here and also need not be here, first of all, they have nothing to do here, but they are well treated. So, in other words, what is appreciated is illegal. Illegal aspects are appreciated.
That's why you like to train.
I like train because, yeah, one of the reasons I try much better, much better. Airports are terrible. Airports are always, and some airports they completely strip you. And in Frankfurt Airport, one lady, Indian woman, she was lactating. She had a child. They took her to the room and asked her to prove it. Can you believe it? Yeah. What sort of people are these? What kind of people are these? No, Germans, no, you know, completely unethical, disrespectful. There's a child, and naturally the mother will be lactating, right? But that was not acceptable. Prove it. And she had to prove it to take the next flight. And you know how they come? They come with the guns and stand around you while you're interrogated as if you are a criminal.
Our country as well. Sure. People are sometimes treated very bad.
Yeah.
Sure.
Australia, I spoke to the minister. Minister knows me. And so I said, why is it so? He said that this was during the COVID time. There was a strict order to screen people. They never took it off. So they are still continuing it, you know. But that's what I'm saying. To know the psychology of people, you don't have to go too far. Just go to your airports, you will know.
Is there hope, Mohanji?
Hmm? I don't think so. This generation, I'm not being pessimistic, but let me tell you one thing. Look at the world outside. How much of conscious people do you see? Very little, very little. They don't care. You look at the faces of students, children, completely occupied with their tablets or phones or stuff, and not worried about the world outside, and eating junk food. And yesterday I was talking to one person. She was telling me that about 5 years she was with a group of people who are drug addicts, because in the university, her friends was all addicts. So she had time with them 5 years. So now she's trying to get back to spirituality, all those things. So she said even now they call, and when they call, she said I don't know what to say. So the thing is that you never really come out of it. You go back to it all the time. So this is the kind of system going on.
But still, we're going towards Kali, Satya Yuga.
After destruction, after complete destruction, annihilation, then not everybody will reach there. So many people will stay back until the next Kali Yuga. Then the whole thing will be repeated.
Is it like cleaning a room? You take furniture outside and sweep it clean?
No, recycling complete.
Even the good people.
There's no, see, if you say good people, you're probably referring to frequency. They will move to that frequency. The frequency of the dense nature stays back and comes in the next time of that frequency. Yeah, life is simple.
So the frequency rises, and the people who can come along in that frequency.
No, frequency is not rising. All frequencies are existing even now. There are frequencies of these kind of people in the airport. That kind of frequency exists where you are free, you are being given license to disrespect people, insult people, harm people. That kind of people, frequencies are there. Even the abattoirs and all the frequencies are there. Also, there are frequencies of Baba. So you can see the difference here. Huge difference. So every frequency and who you connect to, what you become, that's your path. So who you are associating with, that you become that. You associate with a person of higher frequency, naturally you will reach there. Where you park your mind, that's where you reach.
So, so many people have been saying we're going in the new frequency with our body, but it's not like that. It's just we're
No,
not frequency.
in frequency, the gross frequency of the world is not changing. Probably it's degenerating. Am I right? It's degenerating further. But individually, you can rise. Why not? That's why what is your associate, who you are connected to. That's probably also one of the reasons why we need spiritual master, real physical masters. So you can connect to a person, not a theoretical. Because the problem with the past masters' teachings is that people interpret them as they like. So a living being will not allow it. He'll kick your butt. But a master who is not in the body will not interfere directly unless you are very subtle. If you are very subtle, you will know exactly what you're talking about. If you are not so subtle, then you will manipulate the teachings as per your requirement, and start telling that, then people will think that's true, and you'll have reasons for it. So this time there are powerful masters in this time. So they are sent for this purpose. Those who are able to connect, to come out to the Satyuga frequency all the way. But not everybody will reach that frequency, fully conscious frequency. So some people may reach up to Treta Yuga frequency, some people Dwapara Yuga. Still, it is better than Kali Yuga in that context, not fully unconscious. So it can all happen.
You warned us many times that you will not be in this body forever. So
Me?
one day, yes.
No, I won't be. This is my last life.
And
I don't want to go through these airports anymore. If I take a body to, yeah,
Times it seems that it could happen any moment,
yeah.
and then we're not ready.
But one thing, you see how I operate. Watch closely. Do I ever go away from my responsibility? Never. That's the answer. When you are connected, I take care of it. Those who are sincerely connected to me, I'm seriously responsible. I never ever go away from responsibility. That's not allowed. In the tradition, it's not allowed. It's not like, okay, now I'm pulling the shutter down, come tomorrow. Never like that. Always available.
Actually, a bit afraid of the tradition because they're high demand.
There's no high demands. See, only demand is being, no, that's not true. In Raja Yoga path, no, Raja Yoga path is only telling you to be yourself. That's why it's tough. What is the fundamental it's saying? One thing they said, be available. We work through you. Is it difficult? It is difficult, provided you won't allow it. Means your ego, as I'm working, don't work through me. Then it's a difficult thing. Second point is that be yourself 100%. That means accept yourself 100%. That is very difficult. We accept other people, but we don't accept ourselves. That is why this is tough. Otherwise, there's no tough. There's no demand in here. What demand do we have? Third point is awareness more than knowing. Why? Because if you want to rise to the higher levels, it's only awareness. Be aware, be aware, be aware, be aware. Not knowing, you will be stuck here.
Not in head, inside.
Yeah, it's aware, being aware. This is all not difficult. There is no better path or easier path than Raja Yoga path. If you're able to understand that clearly, it's very easy to handle. Huh?
No strict lines. Go.
No boundaries. I never said don't do this, don't do that. Two things I said don't do. Avoid doing. Not I didn't still didn't say do not do. Avoid doing. One is violence because it hurts you and pins you down and also keeps you on guilt regret factor. Second is intoxication. Intoxication because you are trying to become fully conscious. This is making you unconscious. These are the only two things I said. Nothing else I said is wrong or bad. So how can you make it more simple?
And you also said so often, um, so be concentrated,
Be in the present.
be in the present, be kind,
Yeah,
focused, available.
that's not difficult.
It is.
Why? That's habit, right? See,
Yes.
if you're not in the present, for example, you're missing life. Yeah, you are in some dream world, either of the past or the future. I miss this, I miss that. That's all from the past. I'm anxious. That's about future. That's not happened as yet. Past is finished already. And in the present is what life is happening. That's the only logical thing to do. Yes, please.
Fixing every time. I struggle with, and I just can't get it.
Now, what are you facing struggle with?
Every time. Here, for instance, the temple. Well, every morning, I start off like with those four, and I'm facing it again and again because if I'm focused on, let's say, the coffees and teas, I'm focused, but I need to be at the same time. I need to be kind to everybody, and I can't get them together. And available, and I need to be available.
Huh?
On pouring water or making a coffee, people feel offended. People feel not seen, any sort of feelings. And I'm used to a certain level, but it gets me every time.
But you have been in the aircraft, right?
Yeah, I did.
You can't be rude with people in the aircraft. Yeah.
Simply 12 crew. And if it became too much, because on the Boeing 747 we had 429, I would just say, oh, I have to go there. And they would think, oh, something is the matter, you see? Or I need to go to the cockpit or whatever. I could just focus. And it was so easy.
Why is it different here?
Yeah, because there was a crew who would take care or whatever. But here, people are very sensitive. Ah, and
What do you think
spend a
about
lot of
people?
time still in focusing, for instance, I get you something. People come near me and I don't see them. I just don't see them.
You jump over them.
Because my focus
You know,
is on you, which is on the Monday, Thursday.
Carla, I feel the people coming here would accept much more than the people who paid and sitting in the airline, in the aircraft, because they will demand service. Huh? Yeah, one-to-one contact. Yeah, and yeah, yeah, yeah. So in this particular situation, you need to have assistance. You need to have people to support you. Don't jump over people all the time. So delegate. Mm.
The manifestations.
You hate them.
That's right.
I understand.
I'm in such a weird position because I'm adding karma all the time, and I'm striving for completion.
You know, very simple. Do things at your own pace, comfortable pace. Do things only what you can handle. Don't try to mouth more than you can chew. Secondly, please understand, if you delegate and trust people, they will do the job as well. They will also do their job. When you try to do too many things and walk over people, step on toes, people will shout. Yeah, so try not to do too many things, and this is all boiling down to one thing: ownership of action. When you own an action, oh, I have to do it, I have to do it, I have to. Please understand, this is all given to you by them. So you are just being allowed to perform. All are allowed to perform. Even I am allowed to talk here. I didn't create the space. I didn't create any of these things. But everybody, all of us are like tourists here. So if we have that attitude, we'll be kind. Primarily, be kind to yourself. So if you're, see, when you really want to be kind to the world, the workshop is you. You have to build it here. You should become kindness, not kind for the sake of something, not kind because I said so. You can.
Or something.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody can. No, then it's pretension. Yeah. So no, it's not true. You have to be kind to you. Ask yourself, what is tilting me, toppling me, making me unstable, and leave those things to others.
Just something. Could you do this or that for me? If there's a lot and a lot of people, a lot of energy, you know, I just can't produce the words anymore. It's just the both.
Okay, understood.
Functioning.
Understood. This is what we call as pre-planning. If tomorrow there is a function, today you gather the people. I said, tomorrow we have a function. You do this, you do this, you do this, and distribute it. Are we on agreement? Yes. Then next day you don't have to speak. That time, even if words don't come, don't come.
Do it in the airline business.
Because you are paid for it. You are paid for it. If you don't do it, they will not pay you. So you'll do it.
Here you're working on karmic release.
Yeah. So this is the point. See, so many things can be tackled by pre-planning. When there is an event, an occasion, or even daily activity, if there are a few people who are participating, you can request them, can be discuss, delegate. All you need is to supervise them. Then there is no stress. You see, everything has a way. Not that I cannot be kind. You don't have to be kind. You have to be kindness. Then you don't have to be kind. You have to become love. Then you don't have to love. So, no, it is. Listen, I am doing it with my life. I'm not preaching from the sky. Yeah, I'm leading by example. So I have the right to speak. Not just beautiful words. Not just the beautiful words. These are expressions, real life expressions. I have made changes in the world, then I'm speaking. I will not speak something which I cannot follow. So don't say these are beautiful words only. These are actual life. Yeah. Stop defending now. Sit down. Any other question?
Ik heb een vraag, maar ik vind het moeilijk, want ik hoor heel veel Engels en dat krijgt niet allemaal mee. Dus ik weet niet of mijn vraag, of het is eigenlijk niet een vraag, het is een gevoel wat er opkomt. Ik werk al, ik doe het in het Nederlands en ik hoop dat iemand mij goed kan vertalen. Ik werk al ruim 20 jaar in het hospice en ik merk in de laatste levensfase dat als mensen alle, ik noem het toeters en bellen loslaten, dat er only love, dat er alleen nog maar liefde is. Nu heb ik het dus recentelijk bij mijn eigen vrouw mogen ervaren, dat als we dus die dood accepteren en daarbij ervaren, is er alleen maar liefde. Dus voor mij is er eigenlijk al maar twee emoties en dat is liefde en angst. Alles waar we heel veel over praten komt uit angst voort. En als die pure liefde die voelbaar is, dat de dood nabij is, ja, dat is zo ongelooflijk mooi en sterk. Dat is wat ik eigenlijk nu wil denken.
So, so she's talking about her experience while working in a hospice, and that she noticed that people in the last stages of life, they come to acceptance, and there's only love, love, love. And from that, she concluded there's mainly two things which govern us. Uh, Most of the time, all the things come from fear, and in certain stages, which she has seen with her own wife, who has passed recently, the people come to a state of love, and then there's only love left. And fear, and love. That's the two points of the scale. Angst en liefde zijn de twee punten op de schaal. Dat zie je ook.
Voort inderdaad de onrust komt uit die angst in die eenheid van liefde zijn die aan het eind van het leven, als we de dood geaccepteerd hebben. En ja, soms zou ik veel meer willen dat we de dood bij het leven veel meer kunnen accepteren, waardoor er veel meer ruimte komt voor liefde. En dat we niet hoeven te wachten tot we in het hospice of de dood dichtbij hebben.
Most things are governed by fear, and once we can let go, then there's room for love to govern us.
Yeah. The primary thing is all our life, you are nurturing a personality, and that personality is dying. You will feel tremendous fear. You know, we have identified ourselves as a personality, and death means the death of a personality, not death of life. Life is continuing, but personality dies. Personality is connected to a person. There will be fear. There will be tremendous fear to many people if you don't have equal amount of awareness.
Het proces van loslaten dat bij het overlijden komt, is er heel vaak ook bij veel mensen angst, omdat de persoonlijkheid, dat is hetgene wat overlijdt. Er is eigenlijk geen dood. De persoonlijkheid overlijdt. En de meeste mensen schieten dan inderdaad in de angst.
This is the time when we need to. That's why before we reach that stage, we should stabilize ourselves in awareness, in truth of who we are, because we have taken this body only for some time, and we will leave. All our relationships, all our possessions, everything will go. So that stabilization is essential. And also, when you have so many pending things, there'll be tremendous regrets. Everything is postponed and pending towards death. So much of regrets will come. I didn't do it. I couldn't behave well. I couldn't do this. So many things. So this situation will be there. So it is important to lead up to life in a particular proper way so that towards the end, death will not be a problem. Okay, it's inevitable. I have to leave someday, sooner or later.
Ja, we hebben tijdens het loslatingsproces komen al die angsten naar voren en al die onafgemaakte zaken, waardoor er ook heel veel spijt naar boven komt. En we zullen eerst tot een afronding moeten komen. En dat hoort bij het proces van loslaten. But her question was mainly, how is it possible to come to this level of acceptance and love now here in this
Many
presence
times
time?
through helplessness. Nothing much you can do
Yeah.
now. You are at the mercy of somebody or you need assistance. You're dependent. That time they will surrender automatically. Nothing much you can do individually. So I surrender to the reality. That's when they start expressing unconditional love.
Ja, dus om dat in het gewoon dagelijks leven die staat te bereiken, dat kan vaak alleen maar door een crisissituatie, dat je in een staat van overgave belandt. En door die overgave komt uiteindelijk die onvoorwaardelijke liefde naar boven. En dat is ook hetgene wat gebeurt bij het overlijdensproces van heel veel mensen.
It is good. It is good because at the last stage, this is good because you have actually accepted the reality at that stage.
Ja, dat is eigenlijk heel goed. In het laatste stadium, als je daarin terechtkomt, dan betekent dat je de realiteit geaccepteerd hebt. Dan is overgave.
But always remember that it is situational. A situation created it.
Maar onthoud wel dat het allemaal afhankelijk is van de situatie. Het is door een situatie geschapen. Heb je antwoord op je vraag?
Leven elke dag alsof het je laatste is, eens krijgen je gelijk. Als dagen zo leven. Dat het morgen dus over zou zijn. Dan zouden we toch meer in die staat van vrijheid en liefde kunnen leven.
Yes, she says, I always tell myself, live every day as if it's your last, because
It's
one
very
day
good. Very good.
you get you'll be right one day. Yes.
No, live every day as if there's no tomorrow. This is best.
Yeah.
So you will not be lazy. You will not procrastinate. You will do your best. And if you don't have expectation and ownership, you will be light.
Ja. Nou, dus heel goed, zegt hij. Als je elke dag kunt leven als het je laatste is, dan zijn er geen verwachtingen, geen, geen eigenaarschap en geen uitstel. Dan leef je echt in het moment. Ja.
Hmm. Not hungry. Any other questions? Yeah. Stop. Yeah.
Yes. You will need to come back next year for the other questions that's still pending. But in this, so hereby we all invite you.
You're always invited. You're always fun.
I'll catch a train and come.
Thank you very much, Mohanji. And this was such a delight to have you here again after such a beautiful couple of days we had here with you. Um, for those who, of course, Mohanji will be going to Leiden today. And then you have for the students the last program. Tomorrow, Devi will give a program here in this temple. And for those who haven't given up the names yet, that they can add to the website probably. But we are almost full. That's a good sign, isn't it? A good sign. Good. And again, Moji, with so much love and with Carla and myself and everybody here, thanking you again from the bottom of our heart. Okay.